The feeling of loneliness is like a shadow that accompanies different moments in life. It's reflected in the stories of philosophers like Zeno of Citium, who, after losing everything in a shipwreck, found refuge in Stoicism to deal with that emptiness. Seneca's words gained depth when he was exiled, distant from the people he loved, finding in loneliness a muse for his best writings. Even Marcus Aurelius, considered one of the most powerful men of his time, found himself isolated by the nature of his power, by the responsibility and fame that came with it. These historical accounts resonate with us, showing how even such influential figures faced this sense of loneliness. Today, perhaps you can relate to this feeling. In such a connected world, loneliness might still find space to manifest. It's not uncommon to feel lonely even when surrounded by people or busy with responsibilities. It's an experience shared by many, regardless of social status or power. However, loneliness isn't exclusively a burden to bear. It can be an invitation to explore one's own company, to look within and discover our deepest thoughts. Just as these philosophers used loneliness as an opportunity for reflection and personal growth, we too can transform this experience into something constructive. Marcus Aurelius, in his profound meditations, described life as a war and a journey away from home. For him, this wasn't just a metaphor, but a palpable reality. Spending most of his reign embroiled in conflicts, there were long periods away from Rome and his family. The burden of power he carried made his world lonely and isolated, despite being the most influential man of his time. Loneliness, as Marcus Aurelius described, is a tangible reality. It doesn't just limit itself to physical absence, but also emotional disconnection in the modern world. Like Stoic philosophers, we can learn to deal with this loneliness, finding strategies to face it in a more serene and constructive manner. One of the lessons we can extract is the emphasis on accepting what's beyond our control. Epictetus, one of the great Stoics, advocated for the importance of focusing our energy on what we can change. Loneliness, at times, is an imposed circumstance, but our attitude towards it can be transformed. Accepting that we can't always control our interaction with others liberates us from the weight of expectation and allows us to find inner peace. Moreover, practicing empathy is also crucial. Seneca reminds us of the importance of putting ourselves in others' shoes. By understanding that many people around us might feel equally isolated, we can create genuine and empathetic bonds. Human connection can be nurtured through mutual understanding of the struggles and challenges we all face in our personal journeys. The narrative of the man overhearing someone criticizing themselves on the streets resonates with how loneliness can trap us in cycles of self-criticism and isolation. Distancing from people often triggers discomfort within ourselves, creating a vicious cycle. Stoic philosophers offer a valuable approach: being kind to oneself, becoming a friend to one's own person. Epictetus, in his reflections, emphasizes this importance by stating that we should be our own closest friends. This kindness to oneself not only alleviates the weight of loneliness, but also opens space to reconnect with others. Imagining someone approaching a lonely person, not having fun and being harsh on themselves, echoes the Stoic message of reaching out to those in emotional distress. By adopting this perspective, we can break the cycle of loneliness and self-criticism. The ability to embrace and offer compassion to oneself is the first step to breaking the barriers that separate use from others. Just like the man interrupting self-critical words, each of us has the power to offer compassion and support to those in a state of loneliness. This Stoic message is not just a philosophical teaching, but a call to action. It's an invitation to be agents of compassion in a world where loneliness often hides behind forced smiles. It's a reminder that kindness to oneself can be the spark that illuminates the path to genuine and meaningful human connection. By adopting the stance of being friends with ourselves, we can find not only comfort in loneliness, but also the ability to rebuild emotional bridges with others. It's in the simplicity of a kind gesture that the Stoic message resonates. Kindness to oneself is the foundation for an authentic connection with the world around us. Reflecting on how we treat ourselves in the darkest moments is essential. When we feel disconnected and immersed in emotionally dark places, it's crucial to remember that we're not bad people. How we internally address ourselves holds significant weight. Epictetus also emphasizes the importance of not treating ourselves poorly, as this decision isn't wise. When we doubt our own dignity concerning friendships, relationships, and love, we reflect the same message to the world around us. Seneca encourages us to be better friends to ourselves, which implies developing healthy self-esteem and a compassionate attitude towards ourselves. This message resonates with the Stoic philosophy of cultivating a mindset that promotes self-development. By acknowledging our own self-worth, we're building the foundation for healthy relationships and genuine connections with others. The idea of being our own best friend isn't just moral advice, but a fundamental principle for human interaction. By treating ourselves kindly and compassionately, we're setting a standard for how others should treat us. It's as if by internalizing this positive attitude towards ourselves, we're extending an invitation for others to see us in the same light. The Stoics have a lot of wisdom to share with us about these things, and I wanted to share that with you. First, love. The Stoics aren't devoid of sensitivity as many might assume. Seneca reminds us that if we desire love in our lives, we must emanate love into the world. Marcus Aurelius, despite learning to be free from passions, deeply valued love and affection. The dynamic is clear. What we emit into the world is what returns. It's the energy we control. If we seek to feel good, if we wish to be loved, the key lies in our own willingness to give. Following in the footsteps of the Beatles, it's about the energy we project into the world. It's about what we offer. We shouldn't expect validation or love from outside without first emitting them ourselves. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the connection between doing good and feeling good. If we want love, we must radiate love into the world, express affection towards others. This Stoic approach offers a powerful perspective on how we can change our own emotional experience. By seeing each person as an opportunity to practice kindness, as Seneca encourages us, we're shaping not only our own reality, but also positively influencing the environment around us. This philosophy invites us to take responsibility for our own feelings and emotional experiences. By adopting an active posture, choosing to emanate love and kindness into the world, we're building a positive cycle of interactions and experiences. It's like tending to the garden of our own soul, cultivating an environment conducive to the manifestation of love and compassion. The Stoic message reminds us that the source of love and happiness resides within us. By adopting the practice of radiating love into the world, we're not only nurturing our own emotions, but also creating space for genuine and meaningful connections with others. It's an approach that allows us not just to receive love, but also to offer it genuinely and abundantly. Second, community. Exercise is often a solitary journey for me. I enjoy solitude while exercising, but there's something special about sharing suffering and challenges with others, don't you agree? Seneca mentions the cold plunge as a way to start the new year. There are ancient traditions like the polar bear clubs, where individuals gather to face tough challenges and support each other. One of the most powerful ways to find community is around activities we typically do alone and struggle with. CrossFit gyms and martial arts are clear examples of communities united by physical challenges. Events like Spartan obstacle races also illustrate how doing extremely challenging activities together can create strong bonds among people. The Stoics, although they valued solitude for self-improvement, also recognized the power of community in the human journey. They understood that by facing physical or emotional challenges with other individuals, we create a network of support and solidarity that enriches our lives. This approach highlights the importance of sharing challenging experiences with others. By facing physical obstacles together, we create bonds based on overcoming and mutual support. It's a way not just to strengthen the body, but also to nurture the soul through human connection. Marcus Aurelius likened our individual journeys to soldiers attacking a wall. He emphasizes that when we ask for help from a companion when we slip, we realize that everyone is united in facing challenges that initially seem like solitary struggles. Facing discomforts is valuable, but doing so together quickly integrates us into a community. In times of difficulty, when we're at rock bottom, we realize the importance of seeking support and uniting in the struggle. In these moments, we learn to be part of a collective, not directed from top to bottom, but rather an organization driven by the community. It's a kind of union where everyone comes together, comforts each other, and supports each other while facing uncomfortable challenges together. The teachings of the Stoics and Marcus Aurelius's quote emphasize the idea that by sharing discomforts and challenges with others, we become part of something bigger. It's not just about receiving instructions or direction, but about forming bonds and relationships based on mutual understanding of individually faced difficulties. This perspective highlights how unity in difficult times creates a genuine support network, where each member becomes a pillar for others. By facing challenges together, we not only overcome individual obstacles, but also strengthen the bonds of solidarity and compassion. Therefore, by being part of this support community, we follow the Stoic principle of recognizing that true strength lies in unity. It's as if by coming together in adversity, we're forming a collective support structure that helps us grow, overcome challenges, and find mutual comfort in shared discomfort. Third, very little is needed. The Stoics, like Musonius Rufus, offered a timeless view on happiness and simplicity. In a world driven by rampant consumerism and an incessant pursuit of more, Stoic philosophy proposes a radically different approach: the pursuit of happiness through valuing the bare minimum. Musonius Rufus faced exile repeatedly, a situation that might seem desperate to many. However, amidst this adversity, he made a transcendental discovery. True happiness isn't tied to possessing wealth or social status, but rather to being content with basic needs. This Stoic understanding remains relevant today. We live in a society where we're constantly bombarded with messages that lead us to believe happiness is linked to what we own: luxurious cars, grand houses, designer clothes, and an endless list of material possessions. Yet the Stoics challenge this notion, arguing that true happiness isn't found in accumulating goods, but in appreciating life's simple things. The minimalist philosophy, so prevalent in modern times, echoes the teachings of Stoicism. Living with less, cherishing the basics, and cultivating gratitude for the small things resonate in both approaches. When Musonius Rufus states he only needs food, water, and sunlight to be happy, he reminds us of the importance of a life stripped of excess. This mindset doesn't seek deprivation or complete detachment from life's good things, but rather a shift in perspective. Valuing the essential and learning to find joy in simple things can lead to a deeper sense of contentment and satisfaction, regardless of external circumstances. In an increasingly chaotic world filled with stimuli, Stoic teachings offer a valuable reminder about the power of simplicity. The relentless pursuit of more can leave us perpetually dissatisfied, whereas practicing gratitude for what we already have can lead us to a more enduring state of inner happiness. Musonius Rufus's epiphany about happiness associated with simplicity resonates in modern life, where many find themselves trapped in a cycle of ceaseless pursuit of more, unaware that they already possess enough to find true satisfaction. It's like those New Yorkers who have access to all the city's amenities but rarely take advantage of them. The frenzy of modern life often keeps us ensnared in the illusion that happiness is tied to what we don't yet have. The constant quest for more distracts us from appreciating what's already within our reach. The Stoics, including Epictetus, emphasized the importance of recognizing the value of what's present in our lives. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This philosophical perspective reminds us that happiness isn't in material abundance, but in how we value and live with what we already possess. Living a simple life doesn't mean deprivation, but rather fully enjoying what's available, nurturing gratitude and appreciation. This aligns with the concept of minimalism, where emphasis is placed on quality over quantity, experience over possession. Stoic wisdom, combined with Musonius Rufus's lessons, challenges us to rethink our relationship with what we deem necessary for happiness. Sometimes, in the rush to accumulate more, we lose sight of the true source of contentment, often found in simple things and day-to-day experiences. Therefore, as we contemplate Musonius Rufus's reflections and Stoic teachings, we're invited to reassess our own definitions of happiness and recognize the intrinsic richness of simple living and appreciation for what we already possess. Fourth, seek help. Marcus Aurelius mentioned that we are like soldiers attacking a wall and the importance of being able to ask for help. This aspect is crucial, especially when we feel lonely, battling challenges that seem insurmountable. It's necessary to recognize that asking for help isn't an act of giving up, but rather a refusal to surrender. There's a book titled The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, which highlights this idea, stating that asking for help doesn't mean giving up, but rather resisting giving up. Situations like leaving the army, moving to a new state, or dealing with changes in communities and relationships demand significant adjustments and adaptations. The Stoics acknowledged the importance of seeking support when needed. Epictetus, for instance, highlighted the need to accept things that couldn't be changed and seek guidance or support for those that could. This includes recognizing the importance of asking for help when faced with challenging situations. When we find ourselves in periods of transition or facing difficult circumstances, it's vital to seek assistance and emotional support. Recognizing that some changes require a period of adjustment and that asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, but of courage and determination to face these challenging moments. Understanding that asking for help isn't an act of surrender, but rather a step towards overcoming, we're following the Stoic philosophy of seeking guidance and support when necessary. It's an acknowledgement that strength doesn't always lie in absolute independence, but in the ability to recognize our limitations and seek help to overcome challenges and transitional moments in life. Asking for help demands courage. Being willing to expose oneself and admit not knowing something or needing assistance isn't a sign of weakness, but of strength. It doesn't imply asking others to do everything for us, but inviting them to accompany us in our challenges, expressing gratitude for their presence. Courage goes beyond military feats or grand achievements. It also lies in recognizing our limitations and needs. The Stoics didn't associate Stoicism with loneliness or total independence. On the contrary, they encouraged connection with others and the willingness to ask for help when necessary. Recognizing one's vulnerability and seeking support is seen by Stoics as an act of bravery. Seneca emphasizes the importance of recognizing when we don't know something. He says, "It is part of a wise mind to not grieve for anything that is lost, not to let ourselves be overwhelmed by things that are not in our control, and not to boast of abilities we don't possess." This idea echoes the essence of asking for help, acknowledging our limitations and seeking guidance or support. Therefore, courage, for the Stoics, also lies in the willingness to ask for help and recognize the need for guidance. It's not just about facing challenges alone, but having the courage to admit when we need assistance and seek connection with others. It's an act of humility and wisdom to recognize that we don't need to and shouldn't face everything on our own. Fifth, take a walk. Taking a walk may not be the solution to all life's problems, but it rarely exacerbates any situation. Sometimes, the simple act of walking can help calm the mind or offer a distraction, providing a renewed perspective on a problem. The Stoics valued the importance of caring for the mind and body. Epictetus spoke about how we can't control external events, but can control our reactions to them. He said, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will be serene." Taking a walk, in this context, can represent a way of accepting and dealing with circumstances we can't control. It doesn't mean avoiding problems, but adopting an approach that allows for a pause for reflection or an opportunity to relieve tension. In moments of stress or difficulty, a simple walk can be a powerful tool to decompress the mind, allowing for a clearer view of the situation. The introspection promoted by the walk can help find solutions, or, at the very least, bring a sense of calmness in the face of challenges. The act of taking a walk, even if it doesn't directly solve a problem, can offer a valuable break and assist in managing emotions. It's a reminder that even in the most challenging situations, there are moments of tranquility and reflection that can aid in seeking solutions, or at the very least, bring a bit of inner peace. Taking a walk is more than a mere physical act. It's a way to calm the mind and seek clarity, regardless of the issue affecting your emotional state. If something is causing discomfort, worry, or torment, movement can be an effective outlet. The Stoics understood the importance of seeking inner tranquility amidst adversities. Seneca, for instance, emphasized, "Tranquility of mind makes every trouble seem smaller." This thought echoes the idea that by engaging in something as simple as a walk, it's possible to find a sense of peace that can positively influence how we deal with our problems. Seemingly simple actions, like watching the sunrise or gazing at the stars during a walk, have the power to nurture the soul and calm the restless mind. Even if the solution to a specific problem isn't immediately evident, the simple act of going out and being active can make a significant difference in facing difficulties. Therefore, taking a walk not only connects us with nature and provides moments of contemplation, but also has the potential to alter our perspective in the face of challenges. It's a practice that the Stoics would view as a way to seek serenity amidst everyday concerns, promoting a more balanced and resilient state of mind.